Hey, what's happening, guys? I'm going to give you a little video about kahlers, what you can do to get them to work really well, stuff like that, and just tell you the problems I've had in the past with mine and that I've fixed. And, basically, my guitar right here, this is the guitar I'm using. It's my only guitar with a kahler. All the other ones are hardtail. It's a Strat and SG. Blue SG, isn't that cool? Okay. Yeah, so it's got the Kahler, old-fashioned Kahler Tremolo. When I first got this guitar, it was a complete nightmare, that Kahler. And basically it's because I didn't know anything about Kahlers. So I just figured, Kahlers are crappy. So I actually, blocked it off. I put 2 screws, so that was a hardtail bridge. But then I was like, wait a second, I'm not doing something right. So I pretty much figured out all the problems that I could possibly have with it. And fixed them all. And I'm going to show you what I did. Alright, so basically, here's an example of the string that I use. Of course, I bend it so that fits the curvature of the cam. The other thing that I do is I solder the windings like you're supposed to. I don't know if you could see this because I have a terrible camera and I can't prop it down anywhere. But I heat up the ball end. This little ball right here. I heat that up with the soldering iron, and I put solder inside the little groove where the loop of the string loops around. So the entire thing is just one solid piece. The ball end isn't moving around. And if you could see that here, if you could see that really up close there, I solder the entire thing around. And a lot of people say just solder the windings, but I find that most of the time you break strings on kahlers right where the loop meets the winding. And it'll just break, and then, I hated that. The other thing that I do is I put the ball end in horizontally. You're supposed to put it in like this, vertically. I put the ball in horizontally like this so that the hole in the ball is facing up. And I just find that it probably, the way I soldered it, it'll probably be fine the other way, but I think it's just a little stronger this way. And I just changed the strings on my guitar now, but previously I had a set of strings on for, I think 3 weeks, and never broke a string at all. So yeah, it's pretty good, and I'll just do the abuse thing now. Alright, so basically just gonna go nuts with this guitar, go nuts with the Kahler, and just show you that first of all, it will return to pitch, and I'll get into that in a second about how I got it to return to pitch perfectly, and I will not break a string at all. So I'm going to start with the clean channel just to show that the guitar is in tune here. You probably can't see this here. Be nice if the amp was on. It's as good as it can get, So I'm just gonna go insane. Yeah. Okay. also be real gentle with it. There you go. There you have it. That's it. There you go. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the string bending problem. Unfortunately, it's unavoidable, but there have been other guys who are explaining the string bending issue, but they're using a lot of distortion, so you can't really hear it too well. So I'm going to just put it on the clean channel, and I'm just going to dive here. So, you know, the guitar's in tune. Oh, no, it's not. Now it is. Yeah, so there you have it. Now watch. Just a little bit. So, I mean, it's mainly this string too, the G. The B doesn't really do it that much. Tiny bit. But with a lot of distortion, barely noticeable. And the low E string. Just a little bit. I mean, but why would you do a huge bend on the low E string like that? I mean, I never do it. I mean, some people might. I never do it. So I never really run into that problem. With minor bends, it's barely anything. It's really... And the way I achieved this is basically, a lot of people say, you know, put chapstick under the three. Well, actually, one guy said it. And a lot of people might put 3-in-1 oil and stuff. But in my opinion, the best thing to do is just take your Kahler off the guitar, clean everything so that there's absolutely nothing on it, and install it back, and its performance will improve a lot. Another thing is, a lot of times with this guitar particularly, it has a neck angle. So if you look at this, the saddles kind of sit high, which kind of causes it to not to return to pitch. It used to, but simple fix: get the heavy tension springs that are normally for the bass tremolos and throw them on there. And what it does is they're a lot tighter, so it pulls the cam perfectly back to pitch. Another thing is this part, the cam where the bar is attached, needs to be perfectly centered in between the sides of the base plate here. If it's touching the sides, it's going to screw you all up. And what's probably going to happen is when you dive the bar, it's going to return flat, and when you pull up, it's going to return sharp. So basically that's the biggest thing there. It does help after a while, maybe if you put a little bit of 3-in-1 oil on the sides of the rollers here, but make sure you don't get it inside. A really important thing is that the string is inside the roller and sitting firmly on it, and when you dive the bar, the roller moves with the string. If it doesn't, it's going to add a lot more friction, and the string bending problem is going to be a lot worse. So there you have it. That's my knowledge of Kahlers. I hope it was helpful, and I'll see you soon, all right?